everybody. Welcome back. My name is Mason Stoops, and today I'm back with my very good friend Allan at the Hollywood Guitar Center Platinum and Vintage Room, and we are going to check out even more vintage treasure hunting, vintage guitar searching, diving in deep into the stuff Allan and I go very much nuts for. So last week, we had checked out that 52 Les Paul, which was insane, and I'm still thinking about it. But what do you have for me this week? Hopefully something equally vintage, equally historical, and maybe I could have it. Maybe you would just give it to me.
If it were up to me.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we're ramping up for a vintage event here coming up in the next little bit. And so we've gotten in a bunch of guitars from across the country. We've managed to get in a bunch of really cool Strats. We've got some beautiful Jaguars. There's some really nice basses, a couple of 335s, some more Gibson Les Pauls and Les Paul Juniors. And one guitar we got in that I thought you would be particularly interested in is a really killer little 52 Telecaster, sort of to compare to that 52 Les Paul you played last time.
Oh, man. Awesome. Yeah. I brought my 52 as well. If we want to compare and contrast.
We'll see some differences between them. We'll notice that there's probably going to be a neck profile difference because, like we talked about last time, the 52 year being sort of the genesis of the solid body electric guitar, everything was an experiment. They had different neck shapes depending upon who was actually sanding the neck.
Right. So, they're all so different.
Yeah. Today, I think a lot of people think about how neck profiles and other details about guitars are very standardized. And I think a lot of that comes from custom shops trying to make it easier for a person to order a guitar. You know that if you like the fatter neck on a 52 reissue Telecaster, it makes you think that all 52 Telecasters have a fat neck.
Exactly.
We can disprove that because we have yours and we have ours and see what they look like side by side. Want to check it out?
Please. Man, you've even got the thermometer case and everything.
Oh, yeah. Ashtray cover, the whole shooting match. Weight of the guitar is actually good, right around 7 pounds.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful ash body.
Original finish?
Original finish. Changed pots, had to. When the guitar came in, the electronics were actually wedged together with a pencil tip.
Classic.
Don't ask me how, and it didn't work. I mean, after all these years, it just had stopped working. So the volume pot was actually acting as a tone pot instead of a volume pot at the time. So
perfect.
We had some vintage pots. We put them back in there and it's wired up with a more modern switching instead of the dark circuit. But
so you actually have like a middle position in the middle position.
You can actually play it and get that quacky middle tone.
Yeah, the weight's amazing. Do we know what era 52? Is this an early 52, mid 52?
Mid 52. Ta-da!
Ooh. So fun.
The reason they call it the ashtray is because Leo designed this so that the guitar would look, smooth and clean and everything like that. And because he wasn't a guitar player, he didn't realize exactly how guitar players wanted to feel. So guitar players just pulled it off and, of course, just put it on top of their amplifiers and started smoking cigars. The other funny part is it just sticks on.
Yeah, there's
no screwing, there's no anything like that. It literally just presses on and then comes off. Again, another aspect of Leo's genius, I guess. So you want to plug it in?
Would love to. I mean, first thing right away is like we were talking about with I feel like the presumption would be that this should have some massive, baseball bat neck on it. But I wish the people watching could get their hands on this because it really is, not only is it not massive, but it's really comfortable. It's not even kind of a slight V profile.
Yeah, a little bit of a V neck, yeah.
So they were just making them kind of however they wanted based on who was running the mill that day. Like it's,
Well, like the last time we talked about the 52 Les Paul, we were talking about the genesis and the origin of the solid body electric guitar. Right. Everything at that point was an experiment. So even though Leo, I'm sure, had a design in mind and a setup design in mind, his specifications were such that they were what they were. But then you have the human element. And,
right. And the fact that Leo wasn't even a guitar player.
True. Hence the ashtray not being necessary. But, you know, he had people in the factory doing these jobs. So the human element jumps into the whole thing.
Right.
You know, no two electric guitars are ever exactly the same because the wood's different. Different people are putting them together.
Especially at this point in time.
Oh, God,
It's really hard to put yourself back in that place of 1952 where this was so radical and this was so new, especially the Telecaster, because it was screwed together and built in a factory, which guitars up to that point, you know, Leo always called, in the books that I've read, you know, all the other guitars were kind of like Geppetto work, where it was someone, you know, with a hammer and chisel, and they're gluing it together, and it's just like beautifully made, you know, by an artisan, you know, and this is something he thought, you know, you could just make in a factory. We really can't talk about this era of Fender guitars without talking about Tadeo Gomez. The lore around him, who he was, what exactly did he do, you know, why is his name so synonymous with famous 50s Fender guitars?
Well, I mean, to a certain degree, you have these marks inside of a guitar that will identify who did what at a certain point.
Right.
And the TG mark inside the neck pocket on this guitar indicates that he was very much involved with building it. So when you can link a particular builder within a company to very famous instruments or very famous guitars that have come through, you can almost connect a lineage from one guitar to the next.
Exactly.
And therefore, the story, the myth, the legend all grows from that one point. Electronically, you know, it's wired for a modern guitar player, so you can get that warm, bluesier, jazzier neck pickup tone if you want to give that a play.
Heck yeah.
But because we rewired it from modern wiring, now you can combine the bridge pickup and the neck pickup to get that classic, beloved
middle position
Tele Clarke.
Yeah, which at the time didn't exist.
No, it took somebody actually balancing the pickup select.
So crazy.
To get this. And how many country, funk, reggae tunes were played on the middle position on a Telecaster?
I mean, yeah, to me, the middle position, especially in the studio, is that's the fundamental, that's the go home early, we got it sound.
Yeah.
Like, it just works on every song. It serves the song without insisting too much on itself. It just fits in the mix. Yeah, the Tele middle position is like the working man's tone.
Absolutely.
But
the bridge position...
I know.
This is what makes a Telecaster a Telecaster. And I don't know about you, when I hear that, I think automatically Roy Buchanan, Danny Gatton,
exactly.
Even Brad Paisley and the likes. It's just, it's so identifiable on a record. You're like, you can listen to any song and go, that's a Tele.
Immediately.
I know that's a Tele.
And these are the original pickups to this guitar. Incredible. Yep. Wow. Yeah, it sounds amazing. Okay, now that we've really dug into this 52, I'd love to hear it side by side with my own 52, if we can.
I'll go get it if you want.
Let's do it. Yeah, my little guy.
Now your neck feels a little fatter.
Yeah, I mean, this is much closer to what I would call like a baseball bat shape, but it's not huge, and I've never had anybody pick this neck up and go, oh my gosh, it's unplayable.
Yeah. In modern parlance, I think it fits somewhere between what they would call a C neck in the Fender catalog and a D neck in the Fender catalog.
And this is a Tadeo neck and a Tadeo body, and the neck date on it is December 24th, 1952.
Okay, so that would be about 5 months newer than the one you were just playing.
I just like the idea of Christmas Eve. Like, he's looking at his watch, like, I got to get out of here. One more neck, spits this thing out, goes to the Christmas party, heads home.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe if it was December 14th, it would have a neck profile like the other one.
Exactly. And, I mean, I've had this for a number of years now, but
I love the color on it.
the color, I mean, it's
It's almost a whiter blonde.
it's very limey.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hate it, and then sometimes I love it, because then you see one like the one we had earlier, and it's like, oh, that's what you picture in your head, as a 52.
Are your pickups original?
These are original pickups. I think the neck pickup's been rewound.
I was going to say, the neck pickup sounds a little brighter than the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, a little brighter neck pickup, but that bridge pickup is still that. It's definitely that bridge pickup sound, but like all of these early Blackguard Teles, it's not overwhelmingly bright.
Right. I love how the old Tele pickguards buckle and move a little bit. They shrink. They just don't always fit. Little cracks end up in the corners.
Just going back to just the real, almost prototype nature of these early Teles. Like, we're in a very fortunate position now to be able to look back and see the lineage and look at all the guitars in a room like this and know they all connect and kind of follow the breadcrumb trail back to a Telecaster like this. It's been such a blast comparing these two 50s Teles. I love hanging out with you and nerding out on the most extreme levels.
You're welcome anytime.
If you'd like to learn even more about this 1952 Fender Telecaster, you can click the link below that takes you to guitarcenter.com, or you can come play it in person at the Platinum and Vintage Room here at the Hollywood Guitar Center. Thank you so much for watching. Get over here. Come buy it. Zoom in. Buy it. Buy it.